couple of our friends here, Andre and Monique. Thank you so much for coming back again.
Thank you for inviting
Bonsoir.
me.
Merci
Bonsoir.
beaucoup for coming all the way down. I'm glad it wasn't at least snowing. Although the road's not that great, is it?
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
It's winter time. Come on, folks.
We embrace it.
Very good. So, what's new since we saw you last?
Well, as we were saying before we came on the air, Nadine, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary this summer, and that's a milestone for a humble organization such as ours.
And a lot has been accomplished over those 20 years.
You can look at it that way. Yes, we do have we decided 80 miles.
80
miles of footpath hiking trails, largely on public land. And most of that is in the border mountains between the head of the Connecticut Lake system, so Chartierville,
Right.
and Coburn Gore or Woburn. And then, so we're in the border between those two communities. And then we have another tronçon,
Okay,
a
another
leg,
a spur trail.
a spur trail that goes up to the Mount Megantic National Park,
Right.
as well as some loop trails, which are really fun in the Mount Gosford and Marble Mountain areas.
So you have taken advantage of where the province of Quebec already has park areas to access those areas with your trail system, or did you have to work with them in order to make it happen that way, or it has nothing to do with each other?
Actually, no. What these public lands are well, it's called Crown land in Quebec, and they are multi-use. So the challenge for us and the other users is harmonious cohabitation.
Compromise. That must be difficult because hunters sometimes don't always want to do what hikers want to do, etc. Would those be some of the issues you would face?
That's a very good example, because during hunting season we actually do close our trail network for safety reasons.
We might have some problems with the motorized vehicles too, with
Right.
ATVs and Bigfoot. So
Right.
this is another problem. Yes.
And how do you tackle those kind of issues?
Oh,
Very carefully.
it's not. It's not over yet.
It's an ongoing challenge. Really.
Right.
Yeah.
Challenge. Yeah.
Part of our network is also we do cohabit quite well with horseback riding. They have they don't use the exact same trails as we do, but they have a sort of a parallel network, you could say, and that's easy to get along with.
Well, you don't see too much horseback riding down here, but I do see quite a few people with horses up there. Is that more popular?
Around the Marble Mountain near Notre-Dame-des-Bois.
There's a
So
whole
the-
organization
yes.
in the Eastern Townships called Estrie à Cheval, or Townships on Horse, and they're pretty active.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing to go horseback, isn't it, that we don't even think about.
Yeah.
What is the most gratifying thing about being involved? Why do you stay involved year after year?
Well, I like long distance hiking, and I like that contact with nature in the backwoods, where you're away from the Wi-Fi, you're away from your computer, you're away from the grid, and you make do with what you've got. We have, may I call them primitive, compared to your previous guests' huts. You know, we have lean-tos
Right.
at a sort of day's walk distance between the lean-tos, and that's low-key accommodation. You know, it's open on
More
one
like
side.
the old Appalachian Trail kind of
Exactly.
lean-tos. That
modeled,
That's correct, yeah.
modeled on them.
style. Right.
Yeah, so it's not a crowd experience. It's pretty much a quiet, contemplative experience, I could say.
And you do have some events, both summertime and wintertime, hiking, snowshoeing, etc.
Yes, we do use our trails a fair bit in the winter, and the traffic, I would say the winter traffic is really increasing, wouldn't
Yes.
you say? There's a lot
Especially
more,
around Mount Gosford.
yeah, a lot of snowshoe and skiers out there backcountry skiing. It's pretty amazing.
Especially on the border.
We
where
met
you
some
have
pretty keen
more
skiers just a
wider
couple weeks
space.
ago.
Right.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So are they
Yeah.
taking their skins up Mount Gosford to
Yes,
do?
you
yeah,
do need
I
skins
was
there.
going to
Oh,
say,
yes.
oh,
Yeah,
Yes,
they
yes.
sure are.
wow.
Yeah, and they don't have to wear much clothes.
No.
Yeah.
Because you work up a sweat no matter how cold it is.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying. Yeah, right,
exactly.
right.
Yeah, yeah. We just had a big event in February where we partnered. Could we say partnered?
Yeah, we are partner with Défi Gosford.
Have you heard of the Défi Gosford?
The sled dog races.
Yes.
Yes, they were
Yes.
And they
celebrating.
added ski joring
Yeah,
this
the
year.
ski
Yeah.
joring.
Oh my
That's
God, sign me
third
up,
year,
you know.
Third year
Yeah.
of ski joring, yeah.
Yes, and they were celebrating their 50th anniversary, and
Wow.
our contribution was that we had 3 snowshoe excursions.
Yes,
you could
correct,
say
yep.
2 afternoon excursions and 1 full day excursion in conjunction with the dog sledding, and it was a lot of fun. We were
Yeah.
both there. Actually, I was there for both days, and to be snowshoeing and get to a crossing and see these 12
There
a
is
A
plage
team
with
of dogs
Yeah,
go
the
by.
mushers,
12 and then
6,
another
8,
12.
and
It's
12.
very impressive.
That's
Yeah.
way cool.
Very impressive.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you down here, because I don't know if everybody is aware that just an hour away, you can do all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
right.
very, very close by, just an hour up Route 27. Now, part of what you are involved with the Sentier Frontalier, those are the trails that we referred to that go from Woburn to Chartierville, literally along the border, more or
Yes.
less. And if we can connect from Coburn Gore down to Wyman, that would make a connection down to the Appalachian Trail in our neck of the woods. The Appalachian Trail from Wyman over to New Hampshire, that's already in place.
Yes.
And there's already a trail in place from Crawford Notch
Yep.
in New Hampshire up to
Chartierville.
Chartierville.
The Coles Trail.
The Coas Trail,
Yes.
and that's been there for a few
There-
years now.
there's an incredible
2009.
loop
Yeah.
that could be hiked.
Yeah,
So
the-
all we need is the loop from Wyman up to the border, and we would have an international hiking loop.
Yeah, right.
And that would be the first of its kind in North America, correct?
International
Yeah,
Boundary
correct.
Trail.
Yeah.
All right.
You heard it first
Winter,
here.
summer, spring, or fall, sign me
So-
up. I mean, that's just, I think it's a
coming.
great concept.
It's-
Right. And how long ago was it that they did the Coas Trail in New Hampshire?
That's in 2009.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that
So a few
officially
years ago now.
inaugurated?
Yes,
Yeah, that,
yes.
that our last loop was
Yes.
opened. Yeah.
And that was all, that was not developed at all. That wasn't a trail that was
Before.
in place.
No,
No.
it wasn't.
Even more remote than I think what we're dealing with here, really.
Yes,
a
I
lot of
think
that.
so.
Yes,
There's
Yeah.
no
it is.
communities or anything
No,
along
no,
that whole.
It's very
only,
rugged.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.